talk about bearing, I told you bearing is always measured from a north-south line. So you are expected to draw that in. The key to using the trig functions is you have to know that you have a right triangle. So sometimes I might give you information that allows you to find all of the angles in the triangle. Sometimes I might just tell you that there's a right angle. But you have to know that in order to be able to set up any type of trig function. So let's look at this. The bearing from A to C. So I'm starting from A. So that's my first point. Okay, to get to C, I'm talking about bearings, so you're going to have to go ahead and draw in your north-south line there. Remember, I just usually use dashed line. You have to go north 64 degrees west. Okay, so that 64 degrees is from the north-south line to that point. The bearing from A to B, so I'm back to A, I'm measuring B, I already have my north-south line, is south 82 degrees west. The bearing from B to C. So I have bearing from B. So that means B needs a north-south line. To get to C, you have to go north 26 degrees east. Now, it is possible that your C might be all the way out here. I'm telling you it has to be to the east. So if you need to, shorten up that line a little bit so that it meets the description. So if you need to make C here a little bit shorter, we can do that. And that is 26 degrees. Okay. Then it says a plane flying at 350 miles per hour takes 1.8 hours to go from A to B. So I told you the speed of the plane and I told you how long it took. What is that giving me? Distance. If you want to find out the distance from A to B, you are going to take your 350 rate times time, times 1.8. And we get 630. So that is this distance from A to B. Find the distance from B to C. So I'm looking for that side. Okay. Before I can do any type of trig function, I have to know that this is a right triangle. So that means we have to find out some angles. What angle could we find out right away? This one over here, how?
180 minus 64 minus 82.
Right. All three of these together make up a straight line, which is 180 degrees. So do your 180 minus your 64 minus the 82. And that angle is 34 degrees. Okay. Still doesn't really give me everything, does it? Keep in mind, these are two parallel lines. And this is like a transversal. And if you have two parallel lines cut by a transversal, remember your alternate interior angles are the same. So this entire angle here would have to be 82 degrees. So to find the angle in my triangle, you do 82 minus 26, and you get 56. Okay, what's 56 plus 34? 90, so that means this up here is my right angle. Alright, so now we can set up a trig function. Use one of these angles, it doesn't matter which. Let's say I wanted the 56. From here, 630 is the hypotenuse and x is adjacent. So adjacent and hypotenuse means cosine. So the cosine of 56 equals x over 630. We'll multiply that over. Make sure you are in degree mode. In this section, just like the last, we're practicing significant digits. That's going to be what's expected on your quiz tomorrow. Significant digits. So what would we call that? How many significant digits do we have in the problem? 2. Since there's no decimal, that wouldn't count. So 2, so we'll call this 350 miles. I'm going to start jumping around now. I am going to skip this one. And I want this one, but I didn't give you guys the picture. We're going to draw around. Okay. Marla needs to find the height of a building. From a given point on the ground, she finds that the angle of elevation to the top of the building is 74.2 degrees. Okay, so we're trying to find the height of a building. Draw yourself a little building here. I want to know how tall that is. We have a point on the ground. When I say angle of elevation, what does that mean? Elevation and depression start from a horizontal, elevation would go up. So we're talking about this horizontal going up. When we do that, this angle 74.2 degrees. She then walks back 35 feet. So she backed up. From this second point, the angle of elevation is 51.8 degrees. Okay, so she backed up. We have this new triangle, and this is 51.8 degrees. Find the height of the building. Do we have a right triangle? Yeah. How many right triangles do we have? 2, really? We have this, and then we have the big triangle. So I have 2 right triangles. Okay. But here's the problem. Do I know this side length? So I don't know any sides in the first triangle. Let's call it y for a second. So in that first triangle, from here, x is the opposite, y is adjacent. What would that be? Tangent. So I could say the tangent of 74.2 degrees equals x over y. Okay, our whole goal is to find x. You could multiply your y over, but then we're pretty much stuck. Remember we did one like this in the last section? Let's look at the big triangle. From there, I have the tangent of 51.8 degrees equals, the opposite side is still x, but you're adjacent. What is this entire side length? 35 plus 4. So multiply that over. On their own, I really can't solve either one of those. So how does this help me? They equal each other, so let's set this in. Can I go ahead and distribute this tangent if I do that? Okay, what do I do? Keep the y's on the same side. Okay, so if we take a y out of that, they're not like terms, so you can't actually add them, but you could factor out the y. And then we will divide. You have to be very careful on these. When you hit the tangent, it'll open a parenthesis, so you have to close it. You're also going to need another set for your numerator and denominator. Make sure you can plug that in. What'd you guys get? 19.6527? Is that what I was looking for? Y is the bottom, and I asked you to find the height. So I really want X. But we have places we could plug that in. Let's just do this right here. X is Y times the tangent of 74.2. So if I do my 19.6527 times the tangent of 74.2, how many significant digits did this problem have? Well, my angles are 3, but it said she walked backwards 35 feet. 35 is only 2, so we're going to go with 2 significant digits. So you get 69.45, so just be 69 feet. one of our longer problems. Questions there? Let's jump around. Let's say, let's do this one. How long should an escalator be if it is to make an angle of 33 degrees with the floor and carry people a vertical distance of 21 feet between floors? So what do I need to do? Draw a picture. I've got the floor. Okay. You would be shocked if I put this question on the test. Where is the escalator? Okay, the hypotenuse. Make sure you're thinking about that. It carries people a vertical distance of 21. So where does that go? Okay, that's the stuff that people miss on the test. Just they're not paying attention to where you put your sides. The angle, 33 degrees with the floor. So this is where the escalator meets the floor. So that's 33 degrees. So this is not a difficult problem as long as you can draw your picture. So then what would my trig function be? Because we can assume that a vertical and a horizontal form a right angle. Sine. So I can say the sine of 33 degrees equals opposite 21 over hypotenuse x. Then what would you do?
Multiply by x.
Yes, don't multiply by 21. Trying to cancel the fraction, so you have to multiply by what's on the bottom, and then you will divide by your sine. Okay, so it gives me 38.5576, or if I want significant digits, we had 2, so you would say 39 feet. Let's do one more bearing problem, and then I'll probably stop. I'm going to do this one. Okay, a boat travels on a course of bearing north 52 degrees 40 minutes east. So let's stop right there. I have a boat. So here's my starting point. If I'm going to talk about the bearing, what do I need at my starting point? North-south line. Okay. From there, we are going north 52 degrees 40 minutes east. Remember that angle is from the north-south line. For a distance of 238 miles, so I know this side length. How many miles east has the boat traveled? What would I do? I need a triangle. I have two options. I can draw the triangle down here, or I can draw the triangle up here. Which one do you want? Down? Okay. So if we're assuming this is east, so north, south, and east, west would form a right angle. What am I going to have to do? Where? How am I going to find that inside angle? We know this is north-south, that's east-west, they form a right angle, so you can do 90 minus the 5240. we get 37 degrees, 20 minutes. That's the angle inside. We're trying to find how many miles east, so that's this. So from here, that would be adjacent. 238 is my hypotenuse, so we are doing cosine. So multiply over your 238. Remember, we can put that all in the calculator at once. 238 cosine, and do 37 plus 20 over 60. How many significant digits did we have in the problem? 3. So we would call this 189 miles. Are there questions? So tomorrow, quiz over sections 4 and 5. This homework should help you prepare. It will be open note and open book, so make sure you have all that with you. You will not actually turn in these problems until I get back on Thursday. I don't want the subs to have to deal with it, but I wouldn't put them off. So I'm going to go ahead and give you your study guide as well. That means on Thursday you will turn in these book problems and your study guide, and we're taking our test. Remember, the front